Hello and welcome to another Tri-tutors video. Today we have another 5-minute poetry lesson. Remember, this is not an in-depth analysis of the poem but merely a revision tool. So today we're looking at Motho. A person is a person because of other people. By holding my mirror out of the window, I see, clear to the end of the passage, there is a person down there, a prisoner polishing a door handle. In the mirror I see my face in the mirror. I see the fingertips of his free hand bunched together as if to make an object the size of a badge, which travels up to his forehead, the place of an imaginary cap. This means a warder. 2 fingers are extended in a V and wiggle like 2 antennae. He's being watched. A finger of his free hand makes a watch hand's arc on the wrist of his polishing arm without disrupting the slow rhythm of his work. Later, maybe later we can speak. Hey, wat maak jy daar? A voice from around the corner. No, just polishing, boss. He turns back to me. Now watch. His free hand, the talkative one, slips quietly behind. Strength, brother, it says. In my mirror, a black fist. So this is a poem set during the apartheid era. We have this prison and we have this communication, or this attempted communication, between 2 political prisoners. So we have the first line. As you can see, I've highlighted all the instances where we have a mirror in pink, and so that's significant because a mirror is a form of reflection. So it's almost like these 2 people having similar experiences, and they're not able to communicate outright. They're able to communicate only through this mechanism of the mirror. Now, in this poem, we have 4 languages being used, which is significant because it's about the theme of communication and how communication can still function within a prison and within this very oppressive regime. And no matter what others may do, communication is not going to stop. So we have the African language of the title. We obviously have the English. We have Afrikaans, which represents the warden's speech. And then we also have sign language, because the way that they actually manage to communicate is not through a spoken language, but actually through sign language. By holding my mirror out the window, I see, clear to the end of the passage. There we have enjambment, showing this continuation or this freedom to communicate despite their actual confinement. There's a person down there, a prisoner polishing a door handle. So this is quite a significant thing that he's doing. He's polishing a door handle. So it seems like a bit of a mundane task or an irrelevant task. Yes, it's just something to keep someone busy. You don't really need to polish door handle, but also a door handle represents freedom, right? A door or a window is an opportunity. And so the fact that he's polishing a door handle, it can be significant because it's this idea that through this communication, this is a way out. This is a way to sort of go above their circumstances. In the mirror, I see him see my face in the mirror. So they are looking through the mirror to be able to communicate. I see the fingertips of his free hand. So you can see how many times I've highlighted the word free, and this is because it is ironic. He is actually not free. This is a prisoner. So the way he's talking about his free hand, he's obviously talking about the hand that's not polishing the door handle, but here it's quite ironic because the prisoner is not free at all. And then he talks the next 4 lines. He's making the symbol to indicate that he actually can't speak because a warder is there. In the green, it's very important. We have parentheses, we have these brackets, and these brackets are not just they are there to indicate to us that this is the subtext, right? This is the code being interpreted for us, what is actually saying through the sign language. But also to emphasize that they are also indented, so it's not starting on the left hand side. We have this indent to further show that this is something so incredibly secretive. We also have the translation in italics. So over here, in terms of typography and in terms of the structure of the poem, it's really important to understand the indentation, the parentheses, and the italics and what they indicate. 2 fingers are extended in a V and wiggle like 2 antennae. He's being watched. Once again, this translation for us in brackets. A finger of his free hand makes a watch hand's arc on the wrist of the polishing arm without disrupting the slow rhythm of his work. So he is once again communicating, I can't talk now, we can talk later. The Afrikaans represents this stern remark by the prison warden, and we have the dash there to indicate that who is saying this, a voice from around the corner, there's someone that cannot be seen. And he replies that no, he is continuing to polish, he is not actually communicating with anyone. He turns back to me, his free hand, the talkative one, slips quietly behind. And there we have another dash, we have another indent. Strength, brother, it says. So he's communicating. The sense of communication is giving them some sort of purpose. It's giving them power, actually, because they are able to communicate to each other that they need to be strong. And there's this inversion because we actually have Before we had the actual symbol and then we had what it meant. Here we have what it means, strength, and then what is actually seen, which is the fist. And so that's quite significant because it shows how the strength really permeates the communication. So the tone of the poem is quite reflective, contemplative. You can also use some other words to describe the tone over here, but that's sort of the basis. It's quite a secretive, sort of, the theme is quite of secrecy, of communication, of resistance and rebellion to an oppressive regime.